Hello. So I look a little strange because I just got out of the shower and I'm in a room, my bedroom, which has very poor lighting because I'm on the floor with leg. Really enjoying that. Is he in there? So we are all on the floor because Finnegan, my bed's really high up and Finnegan can't jump um go upstairs, run anything, except slow walk. I carry 31 pounds up and down the stairs. And so the order I do things has changed, to accommodate him. Um, and I am sleeping on the floor. Um, with him because he will try to jump on my bed because that's where he sleeps. And before his surgery, and he was injured and he wasn't supposed to be active. He still tried to jump on the bed and jump down and do his thing. Even now, when my alarm goes off for medication, he's tried to jump on his hind legs to get my attention. And I'm like, no, 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 don't do that. You just bark. And I'm don't know if I should just turn off the alarms because um I don't know. I don't want him to lose his training, but I don't want him to hurt himself. And anyway, that's not why I'm here. I have the relationship video is currently being uploaded. It's at 65%. It is coming. This is a short one. Um, this is a situation came up and I had to do some CBT to de-stress. CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, which I had a lot of a while ago. I'm a pro. So the basics. Well, the set the situation, the scene. If you've watched any of my videos, you're gonna get sick of me talking about brooms. But just think of anything of yourself if you're a creative type. Um, I go to the Renaissance Festival. Didn't this year, it was canceled. Um, as a witch. And I needed a broom. And so I made a broom. Dragged a stick out from the woods and stained it, and I mean, whole 9 yards. And I take this stick that I fancied up to the Ren Fest and I get all kinds of compliments on it. And I'm like, oh, didn't think it was that big of a deal. So a couple years later, I made a new one with a new outfit. So I had two brooms, and I'm kind of impressed with myself, um and I get compliments. I'm The plainer one gets more compliments than the fancier one. I'm not really sure why. But anyway, um it's like a cosplay. I have a whole character that goes with it. But anyway, I see while I'm shopping on Etsy, I love Etsy. In case you don't know, it's when you want that handmade, it's quality, but it's handmade kind of thing. People just making things, being creative that other people will want and will pay for. And so, um, I used to only be able to get these things at Renfest, these types of things, but they canceled. So I did some shopping, and most of them have their little store at Etsy. And I'm on Etsy, and I see people are make brooms and sell them. Not quite my brooms, but brooms. Not like all kinds of different brooms. Like they have wedding brooms. They have a special name. I think it's an Irish thing, and they jump over the broom, and they have Wicca brooms and actual brooms you utilize, but they're dyed or something like that. So, um, I made a Harry Potter Gryffindor inspired broom, and I've shown it in one of my videos. But basically, it's like a black. Got the stick out of the woods, stained it, made it shiny, made it pretty, leather, Gryffindor pin, got a wand with it, with a wand holder, trim, um, stained, bristles, shaped. Personally, I think is a beautiful work of art. And so on a whim, I got an Etsy store, virtual store. And, um, and so don't worry, I'm getting to it. Um, I put it on there just on a whim. And I had the price kind of high, but I was going by what other people had and nothing happened. So I just knocked down some. And then, like a little bit less than a week ago, I get a notification. Somebody has bought my broom. I had gotten some lookers, and someone was liked it or something, saved it or whatever, but someone bought my broom. And I was like so excited because at that time I was making more, and it was like getting weird. What am I going to do with all these brooms? And so I was excited. I was like, oh, so maybe people will buy these brooms. And I sometimes I'm wondering if how much it costs to ship, and the supplies, if I even made a profit. But it's fun, I get to be creative and do something I enjoy, and maybe people will like them to and buy them and have them and like having them. And so um so I shipped this broom, and I didn't have any boxes because I wasn't expecting anyone to buy any, and I wasn't really serious about making more necessarily, different sorts. I was gonna probably just stick with the Harry Potter theme type thing, but I had so many ideas. I was making more, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with these if nobody buys them. So I never got boxes because they're big. They're like, I'm 5 feet tall, and they're bigger than me. They're taller, I mean, some of them. I think they're all taller than me, but they're different sizes. And so they they are fragile in a way. They're very awkward to ship. They're really top heavy, There's a lot going on at the top, and then there's just this stick kind of thing. And so I you know how you can send like posters and things, and they used to just have tubes. Well, if you make a triangle, you can get a triangular box. So that's what we did, is we taped boxes we already had, priority boxes. They have to go priority. And so in triangle shape, and I secured the bristles and everything. And I'm afraid it looked a little unprofessional, but like I said, um, but we did a really good job. I mean, we to secure it. And it was hilarious when I walked in the post office with it, and she asked, "Well, can I ask what it is?" And anyway, so it shipped, and so I'm watching the tracking, and it arrived at its destination at 4:30. And I sent a little thank you note, like on antique paper with a real quill, pen, and ink, and a wax seal of Hogwarts. And it says, I hope you like your broom. If you like it, I really look forward to reading your feedback on our Etsy store, and blah, blah, blah. And so here's my distress. It's almost midnight, and I haven't gotten a rating or an email or anything, any communication, nothing to say whether they like it or not. So I'm fretting and fretting. Um, did they get it and think this is a piece of crap? Why'd I pay money for? I want my money back. Or are they disappointed? Was it bad? My mom seems he was okay, but I don't know what people that can just come over and help me and like evaluate something and say, no, you're completely out of your mind. But anyway, so I'm like in the dark, and obviously I'm going to go to the negative assumptions, excuse me, which, did it arrive damaged? Did it, do they think it sucked? Or what? So here's where the CBT comes in. And I pretty much use the same handful of questions to ask myself. And the first two are, well, they're not really questions. These aren't questions. The first two are statements, and the first two are, I can't read minds, so I cannot, I know that someone named Ashley bought it. I can't read her mind. I can't guess as to what she's thinking. I'm not a mind reader. So it is illogical for me to assume negative or positive. And I'm just, anyway, I mean, it could be positive just as much as it could be negative. So I don't know. Fortune teller. I'm not a fortune teller. I can't tell that I could wake up in the morning and she gives me a rave review. Maybe she hasn't even opened it. Maybe it wasn't for her. Maybe it's still in the box, waiting for somebody else to open it. Maybe she's like me and isn't all that great at times about leaving feedback. And now I know how important feedback is on both ends. For all I know, she opened it up and she was like, this is totally awesome. Show my friends. And I'll never know. So there's that. That takes care of that. So what's the worst that can happen? Well, the worst that could happen is she would ask for her money back. She'd tell me it's a piece of shit and she wants her money back. Obviously she can't ship it back to me. I would probably offer her um, minus what the shipping costs. And I have a feeling that I would probably finish the brooms that I have in process. Like I don't have a bunch. It makes it sound like I have a pile of them. I have like maybe 6. And right now they're just waiting for the wand for the stain to dry and then they'll be ready. I might put the rest on just because I don't know what else to do with them. And try to at least um, break even and take any feedback I get if there's any mistakes I made, and which, by the way, I did order boxes. Um, they they aren't cheap. 6 by 6 by 72. um, so I know that anything else that is bought, I could put on my store. We have new improved boxes for shipping. Um, if that was the problem, I or I may just opt to um, burn them in the backyard. If she like totally rails on me, um, I don't see that happening. But um, it is and then there is the true and false. It is true and okay to acknowledge that it is somewhat anxiety producing to not know, to be in the dark. So, and that would be, is that me, just me, or would anybody feel that way in the same situation? So I think that anybody would feel that way in a similar situation. So there's nothing wrong with me feeling some anxiety and anticipation. So, there's that. Um, so I in and there's a little bit of depression with this. So, sorry, I'm balancing my laptop on my knee. I would question myself, do I feel like this is mood related, more situation related, or a little of both? Um, in this case, I think it would be situation related because I'm just the kind of person that needs to be productive. And I think most of us are like that. Um, I don't think many of us out there are wanting to say, well, I'm on disability, so I pretty much just sit around all day. So, I mean, most people want to be able to say you do something, you know. Um, and on the, if you're, some people are more doers and some people are more creative. So, whatever your thing is, you would like to be able to say to people, I'm of some value in this society. Um, I mean, although it is very nice to know that I do get benefits, because I do have a disability. Um, I I am not entirely happy with the fact that I have a disability and have to be on benefits. Um, some people, when they get on disability, are relieved, which I guess I was at first. And some people are ashamed, which I definitely was at first. And I still am a little bit. That's always going to be there. And there is that crowd. I have no idea what that is underneath my table. Um, that are working the system and they're not being honest. Um, I mean, most of us want to do more than our best, you know. Yeah, it would feel better to say, um, between, well, I'm disabled. I have this bipolar thing, so I get free money. And that's, I contribute a little around the house, you know, feed the animals sometimes. And saying I'm on disability. But sometimes I have an opportunity for a dog training gig and I make these brooms that I sell online. It might not seem to a lot to some people, but there's a world of difference between those two things. Um, so, so I did my CBT. Um, there's also another part I forgot about. Your self worth should not lie on a singular occurrence or event or um, your self worth is not something external that you get externally or dependent on. You shouldn't pin it on one thing. Like when I was in high school, grades were very important to me. I identified with the um, being the smart kid. I took it very seriously. And if, like, one time I did this project for biology and she gave me a B plus. And I had the nerve to take it up to her and inquire why I didn't get an A. Did I get a B plus? Obviously, there's something wrong with you, lady, because this is A work. I put a lot of work into this. And she said it was presentation because my pages were not perfectly, because I was like, the kid that was just up here got an A and his were crappy and all over the place. And she called me a little brat. But, like the first time I got a C, I put my self worth on those letters. And when I got a C in nursing school, I was devastated at first. And I pin my self-worth on that one grade, that one letter. So is my whole being and worthiness as a human being about this broom that landed, that's, somebody gave me money for? Is that it? Does that define me as a person, a worthy person? No. So, there's always that one you have to remember. And that if things do not work out the way you would have liked them, figure out what you can do differently the next time. Um, to make the events that come later better. That's the best you can do if things don't turn out your way. um, so, so I've done my CBT and I'm going to, oh shit, I forgot to take my meds. See, I am a mess without my service dog. So I'll be up for a while. That stuff won't kick in till late. It's already midnight. Um, yeah, so I'm just gonna chill and I'm gonna check in the morning and see what's what. And I'm not gonna have a fit if it's negative. I'm gonna deal with it like an adult, maybe pout for a day or two, and then get on with it. There you go. Um, See, therapy does work if you get the right. There was a time when I was doing that all day, every day, questioning those questions. Um, so I'm gonna go take my medication and I'm gonna watch football. You know what? I have, I used my broom money to pay for Game Pass so I can watch it anytime. And it is the weirdest thing to watch football and the stands are empty, but there's still noise. It is really weird. And don't ask me why I watch football. I find it very relaxing. It's a horrible sport. They get brain damage. But I find it very soothing. I don't know why. So, go Chiefs. Good night.